Lovely to be here with you today. This is an amazing event. Are you enjoying it? It's a lot more than I thought it would be. It's fantastic. So great to be with you here today. And I want to talk to you today about the magic of writing your book and why your book matters to you, to other women, and to the world. So I'm here to encourage all of you women to write a book to build your business. So who am I, if you don't know me, and I'm sure most of you don't? I'm the founder of the publisher Rethink Press. We are a hybrid publisher of business books, the biggest in the UK. I founded the Business Book Awards, and we're about to launch an app called Book Magic AI, which will help you plan, position, and write your book all the way through the process through an app and a process that we've been working on for over a decade, and with the assistance of AI. AI is not going to write your book for you. You still have to do that, but it will really help you and make it a much faster process. So I'm also an author myself, and I've written 13 books, so I know what it's like to go through that process and how hard it can be. And my book, A Book of One's Own, was specifically written to encourage other women to write their book. I'm also a book mentor, and that's probably what lights me up more than anything else, is to help other women and other people to write their book and get out of their heads and onto the page a fantastic tool that will really build their business. So why should everyone write their book? Not just women, but absolutely everyone. There are 4 really clear outcomes. If you write the right kind of book, you will get these outcomes, and they are entirely predictable. And the first one is simply, through the writing process, you get amazing clarity about what you do, your business, how you work, your clients, and you connect with your readers and your prospects and clients. And it brings you enormous confidence as well. Once you've got those 30 to 40,000 words out of your head and onto a page, they're kind of there. They're in the archive of your mind. So every time you go to answer a question, give a pitch, give a keynote, it's all there. You've written it all. You're just plucking it down out of your mind, and it's all really clear. It gives you amazing confidence, and to be a published author gives you a huge boost as well as the expert and the authority in your field. So even if you never published your book, which is absolutely not at all what I'm suggesting, just the writing of it will give you a huge amount of self-development. Secondly, there is nothing like a book that boosts your authority and your influence. A book is an iconic format. It may be an old format, but it is the best format. And whether it's a published book, a physical print book, which everybody values, or whether it's a Kindle, an online book, an audio book, a book is something that makes you the expert. When your name is on the front of a book, it is an incredible way to get into places, to prove to people that you know what you're talking about. So that will certainly happen when you write your book. And thirdly, and for most of our authors, this is perhaps the biggest one, your book goes out there and sells you to your prospects, to your clients, to potential partners, to your market, because it is just the way that you can sell yourself and your business without selling. We call your book your undercover sales agent, and because it's not a pitch, it's not a marketing brochure, it's not a business card. It is a really valuable item in itself. It has a price tag on it. Lots of people will buy it for the value in it. And so your book will tell people what you do, how you do it, give your case studies, tell parts of your story. And it is a way of really building your business when you give it away, send it to the people who need it, who will value it, as well as, of course, people will buy it on Amazon and potentially in bookshops. So it is a brilliant way to build your business. And fourthly, if you want to be more visible as that expert, as that authority, if you want to get onto platforms, be interviewed for other people's podcasts, be seen, then your book is just the way in. If you send somebody a copy of your book, they'll say, yeah, of course, you're the expert. I need you to come and talk. I need to interview you. The press, the media, go to Amazon to look for experts, because obviously anybody who's written a book is an expert in their field. So if you want to become a media pundit and an expert in that sort of world, be interviewed by journalists, your book is your way into that. So those are the four entirely predictable things that will happen to you if you write the right book that will be out there to build your business. And the fifth thing that will also happen, and it will happen, but I can't tell you what it'll be for you, is something that we call book magic. Because every single author that we've published, of the nearly 1,000 authors we've published over the last 12 years, every one of them comes back to us at some stage with a story about something amazing that's happened to them that wouldn't have happened if they hadn't written their book and published it. So book magic will happen to you. And I know there are people sitting here today who have had book magic things happen to them. So those are the things, those are the reasons why everyone who has a business, is a coach or a consultant, an entrepreneur, an expert in their field, should write their book. But why doesn't everyone write their book? There will be thousands and thousands of books if everybody who was in that position did write their book, and there are obviously thousands and thousands of books, but why doesn't everyone do it if that's what happens? Well, I've spoken to people this morning. I've had loads of people who've come to our stand and said, I'd love to write my book. And the first thing they say is, but I don't know where to start. And that is a reason that there are thousands of books in people's heads that they just can't get out onto a page, because you may be an absolute expert, a genius in your field, but writing a book is something else. So a lot of people just don't know where to begin and how to begin. Secondly, if people do start writing and they don't know what they're doing, they will often not plan. I think we often have an idea that writing a book has to be creative and you have to get in the flow and things will just happen when you write. But unfortunately, that isn't the way it usually works. And so it's really important to plan what you're going to write in detail before you start writing, especially with a non-fiction, with a business book. And so a lot of people get started and then it kind of, they write a chapter or two and then they start to think, oh, where should this go? Should I put this next? What's happening here? And it all becomes very overwhelming. And if they haven't got that detailed plan to write from, then the task often becomes just a kind of huge, amorphous job that needs doing. They don't know how to follow a process. And often people will give up halfway through what could be a really excellent book. And fourthly, this may seem strange, but people make the mistake of thinking writing your book is a very singular process that you have to go through on your own. Now, obviously, actually, the physical writing generally you have to do on your own. It's not a group activity. But it's very important to work with other people. It really helps to be part of a group, part of people who are doing it at the same time as you, people who are going through the same ups and downs, but also to work with experts who know how to take you through this. And one of the final reasons that people don't write their business book is that it seems like it's too big a risk, that you have to spend a lot of time on this project, that you have to put some money into it. Usually you are going to have to pay to get your book published in a good professional way. It will take you away from all sorts of other things, and people feel, well, if I do all this, will it have the effect? Will it have the right effect? Will it build my business? Will I get the return on my investment? And actually for women, this is worse. We are more risk averse on the whole. Obviously, I'm generalizing, but women tend to be more risk averse than men. And we find it more difficult to make that decision to actually commit to the time and potentially the money it will take to write a book. And how do I know this? Because it all started with the very first Business Book Awards. So in 2018, we held the first Business Book Awards, and it was a bit of an experiment. We weren't sure how it would go, but we got 150 fantastic entries, and we had a judging panel that was 10 men and 10 women. From business, publishing, writing, great judges. And yet, when we came out with the 11 winners that year, this is what the lineup looked like. Any thoughts about that? So, they were all brilliant. They were great authors. They had written great books, but it didn't quite feel right that every single one of them should be a white man. So what I did was I thought, I can't just let this lie. This is an issue. So I interviewed and surveyed 50 women authors to ask them about whether they had had a problem writing their book. I found by tracking back that we had twice as many entries to the Business Book Awards from male writers than female. And yet, even though we had a third of the entries were from women, we still ended up with no women as winners. So I talked to women about what the problems they had found while they were writing their book. Had anything put them off? Did anything make it more difficult? And the answer was yes. There were a number of reasons why they had found it difficult, even though these were the ones who had got through. So what I did was I wrote a book. I wrote a book about why women tend to be more reticent about writing their books, about why they shouldn't be and how important it is for them to write their books and how to do it. And I called it A Book of One's Own, and I went on a mission to get more women to write their business books. And whether it was partly me or just the way things went, firstly, let me tell you why the women said that they were worried about writing their books. And it came down to 6 C's. And the first one was confidence. Women lacked the confidence to put their ideas and their thoughts out there because they felt that they would attract criticism. And that was really worrying to them. They also thought that they lacked credibility and that, a man writing the book would have more credibility than they would. Also, the cash was an issue to them, partly because they are more likely to have caring responsibilities. So potentially their businesses are smaller than men's. They have less money to invest in something like the book as a marketing tool. And also, they feel alienated from that club, that whatever the club is, that makes men feel that they're part of something bigger and supported by it. And, that they can go out and confidently write their book and be backed by other people. So those were the 6 C's that the women who I interviewed and talked to felt that they had against them when they were writing their book. So, and a couple of examples of this. Sapna Piru is a fantastic branding expert, and she was writing her book, and then she stopped writing her book, and she was genuinely really anxious about the response her book would get from her market, which is predominantly male, surprisingly male-dominated, and right up to the last minute, literally the night before publication, she was saying, let's not do this, actually. I think, I've written it, it's great, but I don't really want to publish it. And another person who was also worried about it, Susie Ramroop, was worried. She's a single mother. The cash side of it worried her. Was she putting in too much money? Was she risking her business? There were genuine worries for women about writing and publishing their books. But what happened next? So remember what the first year of the business book looked like, the Business Book Awards looked like, but the second year looked like this. And in 2000, I think this is 2022, not necessarily so brightly coloured, but we had more women winners than we had men. Actually, last year we had more men winners, and lots of people complained about that. But, it sort of swings and roundabouts. You can't actually, on the whole, the balance is now there. And we have now equal numbers of entries from women authors as we do from men. So that's, that is, makes me very happy. That's a successful outcome, but you can't kind of let go of it. It's still, there's a tendency for things to drop back if you don't keep talking about them and making things continue to happen. So why should every woman write their book then? So Susie sent out her book as soon as it was published to her top prospects. And within 6 weeks, she had covered the entire cost of writing and publishing her book. And it's gone on to really build her business. Sapna won a Business Book Award almost as soon as her book was published, and also has grown her business. These 3 books have created a wonderful speaking circuit, and they just go out there and work for the business. Fadela had a small coaching business, which she has now parlayed into an international consultancy based on having written a book and being an author. Alison has built an academy for tradespeople because she wrote a book for tradespeople to become better business people. Bolanle has been featured in Forbes magazine numerous times because she's written her book. Susan's story business about telling stories in business has done, her book has done absolute wonders for her. Amanda has just published her book and just publicly documenting the process of writing her book. It has only just come out, but publicly on social media, documenting the writing process has got her more clients because people immediately think she's an author. She's great. I must work with her. So those are just 8 women who have really built their business through writing their book and had fantastic success stories, even though they may have been nervous about it to begin with. So, the 6 C's again. When you write your book, it gives you confidence. The book itself combats the worries of the 6 C's. None of the women authors that we've published have had any kind of serious criticism at all. In fact, having a book out there deflects criticism. It gives them instant credibility. So even if they thought they didn't have credibility to begin with, they now have massive credibility and authority in their field. It brings them cash, not necessarily through selling books on Amazon, but through building their business, through getting better clients, higher quality clients, higher paying clients, and lots more exposure in their market. And in that way, it also helps their caring responsibilities. So many women have said to me, I'm so glad I wrote my book. My kids can now see that I am genuinely an expert, that I'm a serious person as well as a parent. And that matters a lot, especially for people's daughters. And they have all joined that amazing club of authors, which is somewhere that you can just enter and be part of as soon as you've written your book. It gives you massive equality with every other author who has written their book. So your book also, it does wonders for you personally and your business, but your book as a woman adds to the credibility of all women. It's a growing pool that has to be added to. So if you haven't read either of these 2 books that talk about this very subject, not books that we've published, but just books I really suggest that you read, Marianne Siegart's The Authority Gap outlines exactly how women lack that authority. And if you read it, pass it on to a man when you've written it. It's absolutely, it will make you, it will be full of light bulb moments you remember, you know that you've experienced. It will also make you absolutely furious, but I thoroughly recommend it. And Caroline Criado Perez's book, Invisible Women, is also one that's had a massive impact on society generally. Both of these have gone out and spoken about the need for women to be accorded more authority and more visibility. So how do you write the right book that will bring you that return on your investment? So first, it's really important to position your book to your market. You're not probably, when you write a book about your comparatively niche business, it is not about writing a bestseller. You don't need to worry about that. You're talking to your ideal client, your ideal prospect. And so you position your book exactly to your own market. Secondly, you plan in detail before you start writing. So not just a few chapter headings and some notes, but real detail, every part of the book planned out before you start writing. Thirdly, understand that all of this is a process. We've been working on this for, as I say, over a decade, and there is a very clear process when you break the book down into manageable chunks that you can see how you write it, and how you plan it, how you position it, and how you write it in steps, so it becomes doable. And it is so much easier when you do it with support and accountability, within a group or with working with a coach or other expert. It makes all the difference to getting your book finished. And so I really would suggest that, if you're going to invest in the important work of writing your book, do it with people who know how to get this done and get it done right for you so that it will build your business. So we are about to launch an app called Book Magic. And in that app, we've taken 10 years of our experience in personally coaching and mentoring authors through the process of positioning, planning, and writing their books, and added to it the magic of AI. So not for AI to write your book. I absolutely do not try that one. AI cannot write your book. There are apps out there that say, your book can be written in 15 minutes. Just give us a title and AI will write it in 15 minutes for you. And it does. But it's not your book, and it's probably not very good. And it will take you far longer to go through it and turn it back into your book than if you'd written it yourself in the first place. But AI can do lots of clever things. It's very good at coming up with titles and subtitles. It's great at helping position. It's very good at summarizing things, at creating an avatar, a business client avatar for you to write to. So this is what we have put together, and it won't write your book for you, as I say, but it will make you an author faster. So it will give you clarity. It's going to be out very shortly. This is what it will look like. This is the opening screen of it. It's usable on your PC, your laptop, your phone, your tablet. You can move between them. You can write, 10 minutes on the train on your phone, and then come back and work on it on your laptop for a bit longer. It is really, we've worked with some fantastic technical people, and it is looking fantastic. And we are about to launch it in 3 weeks. We have AI coaches. Now, I turn up as an AI coach in the app, and it's very strange watching yourself because it kind of looks like me and it kind of moves like me, but it's got somebody else's voice completely. So if you choose me as your AI coach, it won't quite sound like you've heard me today, but we have other AI coaches because I might not be your favorite person to take you through the process. But it is a very clever app, and I really hope that it will help so many more people, but I also feel that it will help a lot of women to write their book because it is accessible, because it gives that support, because it allows you to work on your own but with a group. We also have a Facebook group attached to it and real life coaches that you can access as well, and I am there in the Facebook group as well giving personal responses to people. So it's a wonderful mixture of technology and real life support. So that is what the Facebook group looks like, and we will be giving weekly sessions, live sessions, Zoom calls to everybody who's in the app. So you will get an awful lot. It's not just here I am on your phone talking in a funny voice. I will actually be there talking to you on Zoom calls as well. So I hope that has given you a bit of a feel for why your book matters, everybody's book. I'm certainly not excluding the men here, but why it's so important for women to get their books out there, get your book written. It's not as hard as you think it might be. And there is a way of doing it which says, this is where you start. This is how you keep going. This is where the support comes from. And your book matters. It matters to you. It will build your business. It also matters to other women to see that there are more women writing their books, to encourage other people. And it matters to the world that women have that authority. It's a brilliant way of just showing everybody that women's authority is growing and is there. And the book is an absolutely unique format for doing that. So come and see us on our stand over there if you'd like to learn more about it. I was going to say get a free copy of a book of one's own, but I think we've given almost all of them away this morning before I stood up here. But come and see us anyway. And link with me on social media. And if you want a copy of the book, message me on LinkedIn or Facebook. I am the only Lucy McCarraher, spelt in that weird way, out there. So you can't miss me. If you message me, I will happily get a book posted out to you if we haven't got one left. And yes, there were some planners that we were giving away too. But sign up to the Book Magic AI app. You can do it now using the QR code, or you can go to bookmagic.scoreapp.com. You'll go on the waiting list for the moment, and as soon as we're open, we will let you in and you can have a play with it. There are some free parts of it that you can use to get started, and then there are various levels of subscription. And I hope that it will really work for all of you. And if you sign up for Book Magic, we'll be talking in the Facebook group as well, and it will be lovely to see you there. So that's the magic of writing your book, and I really hope that you will all sign up for Book Magic, have a look at what it can do for you, and get your book written and out there. Thank you.
Thank you.